Hi, everyone. Today we have a very special live stream for you all today, and we're joined by Donna Jaworski, who is our expert in pin trading. And we're going to say hi to everyone in the chat, but I also want to give a heads up that we want this to be as informative and as educational as possible. So we are going to be addressing a different topics within this hour. I don't want to go over an hour just for Pepper Tree Villa, but if you guys have any questions or specific questions, be sure to tag us in the chat. And we have a lot to talk about tonight, Donna.
We do.
So I'm just going to quickly say hi to people in the chat. Mike Wheeler, hello. Samantha Lowe, James Ryan, Finn O'Sullivan, Tim Pruitt, Theen Amazing, David Stevens, Captain Akron, Alex Brunner, Gary B, Karen Cook, Arjons, Pam Spam. Oh, been looking forward to this all day. Thank you so much.
That's so sweet.
Tina, hello. Leanne, T. Marie Photography, John Morgan, LSU Mom, Tracy Glenn. Oh, it just jumped. The Duffley Crew, Michelle, Tracy, Jim from More Sunshine Please, Jenna, hi, Richard Scott, Jumbo, Nick, Jeffrey, hello, is jumping so fast. Tori, hello, Marshmallow Man, Jersey Mike, Mary, Rob Fuzz, Jedi Master Yoda, hello, Amy Privet, hello, Michael Riley. If I missed you guys, make sure to tag us. Ryan McDowell, Alyssa and Neil. It's magical. Meg live with Donna. Doesn't get any better. Oh,
so nice.
Paula Rainwaters, Deborah, hello. I think we've hit most people. So I think we're just gonna hop in. If you guys are new to pin trading, hey, Dana Marie, welcome. If you're new to pin trading, please ask as many questions as you want. Hey, Lisa, welcome. And just tag us if you have any questions. But Donna, I want to ask you when you started pin trading, because I'm so curious.
I actually started pin trading when pin trading first started. Oh, Meg, you have a call. Anyhow, I started pin trading when pin trading first started in 1999. So I've been pin trading for quite a while.
Wow. And do you remember your first experience pin trading?
Let's see. Well, first I bought pins, and then I was like, well, I didn't know how it worked because it was 1999. No one really knew how it worked. It was brand new. Yeah. So then I asked a cast member, and they said, oh, yes, you look for a cast member with, pins. And I said, oh, okay. And you just go up to them and ask them. And he's like, yes, it's fun, and it's easy, and everyone's very nice. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And I did. And I made my first trade, and I was hooked ever since.
I feel the same way. Pam's fam wanted to know, did you start off with starter kits? So, I don't know if they were around in 1999.
No. When I started, I just found at the resort we had been staying at, which was the Contemporary at the time, I went into the little gift shop and they had some pins. And I said, oh, I got that pin, and I like that pin. And it wasn't terribly expensive at that time. So it was like $5 something for a pin. I was like, oh, that's not bad. So I got a couple of pins, and that's how I started. And I'm like, these are so cute, and they're tiny, and they don't break like coffee mugs and things like that, and they don't take up as much space. But I've got over 4,000 pins now in two humongous, you've seen it, the two humongous storage totes. My mom, they're like, what have you got, bricks in there? But no, my trading pins.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't take up that much space. I want to say hi to Patrick from Zibbity Doodad. Imagine Kelly, hello. And Karen actually had a really good question. Do you still have the first pin you traded for?
I do. I have no idea where in my pins it is, because as you know, I recently moved.
Yeah.
So all my pins are organized and categorized in, well, you saw, in giant Ziploc bags.
But they're super organized. Like, they are so organized. And yes, 4,000 pins organized.
Yeah, so I have them categorized as best as I can, and I should have saved my first pin like as a special thing, but there were when I started there weren't pin boards or anything like that, so I grouped it. But I know it was from the Contemporary. It was a Mickey pin, and I believe it said like first visit to Disney.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was really cute.
that's amazing. Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, pin trading started officially in 1999, but there were pins that were made beforehand. I know Dave has talked about having pins beforehand. Jenna had asked what your first pin was. My mom actually just very recently found a pin set of Pocahontas pins that came out in 1995. So those were my first pins that we had gotten. And you know, my family, we used to share a lot of stuff, so that was like ours. And then we, you know, as we got a little bit older, we each started to get one of each. But yeah, was your first official pin one that you traded for, or did you get any before 1999?
Oh, I had some before 1999. I actually have a set somewhere of Coca-Cola ones that were from Epcot, and they had like all the characters like Peter, Michael, and Wendy from Peter Pan, and all kinds of characters, and the Coca-Cola logo with them. And I have like almost the whole set of that, and I was collecting those like way before 99.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So Rob, I think we're going to talk a little bit more about our particular collections a little bit later. We just want to talk about a little bit of the basics, so you guys understand the concept of pin trading. So I know if you were also saying that you might have pins before 1999. Disney definitely made pins before then, but this is when, you know, you started to actually trade in the parks.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't, also hello to Cody and Preston McDevitt, Lady Jamers, welcome everyone. And if you guys don't know, you can actually trade up to 2 pins with each cast member. And cast members typically wear lanyards, or they have like little felt pin books that you can look out for. And most of the cast members in Walt Disney World have them. Whether you could just ask them. A lot of people ask me how I approach someone, how to trade a pin. So Donna, do you have any advice for that?
Sure. So as most of you probably know, I'm very mild-mannered, so I'm not an aggressive person to start out with. So I always approach the cast member, like the very first time I did it, I was a nervous wreck because I was painfully shy, and I don't know how to do this. And so I went up to him, and I saw he had pins around his neck, and I said, are you trading any of those by any chance? And he said, oh, yes. What would you like to see? And I said, well, you know, would you mind showing me all of them? Because I'm so interested in looking at them all. And so he showed me all of his pins, and he told me where they came from and how he had gotten them. And it was so nice. And he said, well, what do you have? And I showed him my little pin I had gotten at the Contemporary. And he's like, well, would you like to trade for one of these? And I said, sure. And I said, well, what do you want to trade? He goes, pick any one you want.
Yeah.
And so I was like, really? And he said, yes. And I said, okay. So I traded that one for another Mickey one that didn't say my first visit, but I think he was holding balloons, if I'm not mistaken.
That's so awesome. I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, you could trade up to 2 pins per cast member, and cast members aren't allowed to say no to you. They have to trade with you. Sometimes I've had cast members even bring in their own personal collection to help trade pins around. And like you said, I've had some of the best conversations with cast members just by going up and saying, oh, hey, do you mind if I look at your pins really quickly? And I think people just get a little bit nervous. And Donna, I can be very shy. And so sometimes it can be hard to just break the ice and be like, hey, do you mind if I take a look at your pins? But if you're nice to them and you just want to engage and talk with them, they are 100% going to be so happy to trade pins with you.
They're so nice. And I've gotten to know cast members I normally would not have.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're just so nice and kind. And you learn where they came from and what they love about pins. And we share that common ground right there off the bat. So that's always a nice, conversation starter to begin with.
Yeah, 100%. And John Morgan had said, don't some cast members only trade with kids? And no, cast members will trade with anyone. You can trade up to 2 pins with them. And yeah, you can, they also have pin trading not only in the parks, but in the resorts. They have it at the store in the airport. Like, they have it all over the place. So
at the resorts too, I noticed a lot of them have pin boards now, actual pin boards. So they have a lot of pins on there.
Yeah, and so for instance, I've only stayed at the value resorts, so I know that they have it in the like gift shop area. So if you just say like, hey, do you mind if I take a look at the pin board? They will happily bring that out. Also, if we want to quickly talk about some of the stores that I'm trying to figure out like when we should talk about all this information because there's so much. But the parks also have pin boards or certain characters. Like in Epcot, they used to wheel Stitch out in a little stroller and they'd have pins on top of that. If you're looking for a pin board, just ask a cast member and they will happily show you where the pin board will be. I know on Pop Century they have several. You just got to look around. Yes, on Disney cruises they also do pin trading as well.
And they're very accommodating, the cast members with the pin trading. Yeah.
Oh, Josh, thank you so much. Triple P, $1.99. We love Donna. Thank you so much, Josh.
Josh is awesome.
Tracy says, I remember that some cast members have a green lanyard or green pin holder. I was told by that staff that green means kids only trading. Oh, I didn't know that one. So did you know that, Donna?
I did not know that. But I've never really noticed
I don't think I've ever noticed a green lanyard.
I never ran into that.
Yeah. I think most cast members will use black lanyards. So but that's a really good tip. Thank you, Tracy, for bringing that up.
Well, maybe I'm gonna check that out when the parks reopen and we go back.
Totally.
Yeah.
Also, hi, Kathy and Christine. Welcome. Josh says they no longer do green lanyards. So thanks, Josh, for that. Maybe that's why we didn't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you for keeping us updated on that. So I think what we can go into next is where can you buy pins? There are so many different options in where to buy pins if you are new to pin trading. There are so many different options. Hey, Pickle True, welcome. So Steve had said Piglet Roo. I'm like, who is Piglet Roo? It's
Piggle T Roo or Piggle True.
Piglet True. I know. It's just not the same now, but welcome Piglet Roo, Piggle True. Preston, have a great night. Thanks for being here. But there are so many different options in how to acquire pins. If you are like me and Donna, I think we like to collect limited edition pins. Now, currently, because the parks are closed, you actually have access to both Disneyland and Walt Disney World limited edition pins on the Shop Disney website. So that's really cool. I actually picked up, I saw that you had also picked up some.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I picked up one.
Ones from Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland and for Cinderella Castle at Disney World. So I got them both.
Oh, Tina, that's awesome. Tina says, Meg, you are my hero for doing this stream tonight. I wanted to do this stream for so long. I was telling Donna, I just think that there's a lot of information that people can learn about pin trading, but it's not necessarily out there for people to learn. So I really want to give the information out. So if you guys have any specific questions, be sure to tag us and we'll answer your questions. But you can also buy pins at the resorts. You could buy them at the parks. You could buy them at the Character Warehouse. So each park has their own specific pin trading store, which is pretty cool. Donna, do you have a favorite store to go to?
Okay, so one of my favorites is the little shop in Frontierland.
That is my favorite.
Frontier Trading Post. Like one-stop pin shopping. It's even better than the Emporium.
100%.
Mhm.
Yep. And they have a great pin board there. The
Yeah.
cast members always have great pins to trade, and they have the limited edition pins there. They have hidden Mickeys all in the building.
Yep. They have the
So,
selection at
yeah,
Magic Kingdom, in my opinion, and it's my go-to. Like
yep.
when we have the Halloween party, the Christmas party, I don't go to the Emporium to get my pins. I go right to Frontierland.
And there's never really that many people there.
You
And
know,
occasionally they will have like a very quick pin trading event there where people just will like line up
like
and
a
start.
pop-up.
Yeah, it's like a pop-up
Yeah.
pin trading event.
Cool.
And because I'll just like walk by and I'll be like, oh my gosh, these people are already in line to pin trade. Let's see. Do you give the cast members the one you want to trade or let them choose the pin they want? So you get to choose what pin you want from their lanyard and you get to give them whatever pin you want to. So they don't get to pick. They just have to take whatever you give them. And Heidi's our dream welcome. And Lauren's Travels. Hello. Yeah. So that's also my favorite store. There is I like don't remember exactly the store in Animal Kingdom, but when you walk in towards the Tree of Life, it's to the right. That's where you find the pins. Do you know the name of it?
I think it's the Island Mercantile.
Okay, yeah. So that's it. In Hollywood Studios, it's literally the first shop to your right. That's the what's that one called?
The 5 and 10, the Hollywood. Is it the Hollywood 5?
It's like the first, literally the first store on your right.
Yeah.
So that's in Hollywood Studios. And Epcot, they used to have the little pin trading pavilion, but it's gone now. So
they moved it to the little camera store, and then it's so cramped in there. I hope they expand it again later.
Yeah, I do too, because it was really special to have. It was almost like pin trading was central in that location, and people would continuously walk by. Also had really great pins there.
The selection was awesome, and because it was, like you said, outside and in the middle of everything, there was more space. Now it's combined with the camera store, so everything's kind of smushed together.
Yeah, and it's really hard to find the space especially with all the construction going on. Hi Melissa, hey Mouse Talk, hey guys.
But yeah, I remember we went for Festival of the Arts, and we were meeting Jenna there, and Sam and I were in the line, and the line was like almost over an hour, and I felt so bad. I'm like, Jenna's like going here, going there. She's like, oh, you're still on the line. I'm like, yeah. The line was crazy.
John, that is so kind. That is, oh my gosh. First time watching and subscribe. Donna is awesome. I have been looking to get my first pin. I want the first one to have meeting. When the parks open, it will be my first time back since 2006. Suggestion on picking my first pin. Well, first of all, John, thank you so much for that generous super chat. That is so incredibly generous. Donna, do you have any suggestions?
I actually do. And this is what I tell everyone. It doesn't matter what the pin is. If it speaks to you and it's something you love, I don't care if it's a scrapper, if it's nothing. If it means something to you, then it's special and you should have it.
Yep. I wholeheartedly agree. I tend to pick my pins based on experiences. So I pick pins out for events that I go to or special moments that I might experience with my mom or you know, like I have one from my Dopey challenge, and that is one of my most cherished pins now. So it's just, it's whatever's special to you. So thank you, John, so much for that super chat. And Mike, let me know about this really good question that I think we could probably segue into. How do you know if it's a genuine Disney pin, which is something that has become a very, very hot topic for the whole Disney pin trading community, and this is scrapper pins. So if you guys don't know what a scrapper pin is, it is, hey Noah, welcome. It is a pin that was taken from a mold that was once a Disney pin and reproduced with very, very poor quality. And it's not the same. It's not genuine. They were made in like factories in China, and then people sell them on eBay. And that's a really big problem now because people who are getting into the Disney pin trading community, you are getting like if you see one of those lots on eBay, like
It has 50
pins,
for like $10, don't buy it.
don't buy them.
And the reason they call them scrappers because these were either misprints or things that were going to be scrapped.
Yep.
That's why they're scrapper pins. They were going to go out in the trash or be recycled or whatever they do with them. But that's why they're called scrappers. But I think everyone ends up with some. It's just inevitable nowadays.
So I do have some. Hey Ben, welcome. And Rob had asked, how can you tell it's a scrapper? So I did bring a couple of my scrapper pins with me to give you guys a few tips and what to look for. I'm sure Donna also has some tips. But Donna, I'm just going to present my screen just for a second, just to show. So if you guys can see, this has big indents in the actual enamel of the pin. I'm trying to get it so you guys could see, but if I move it around, you guys could see there are big divots as opposed to my normal Tsum Tsum pin. This is a regular Tsum Tsum pin that doesn't have any of those divots. If you could also tell, the actual thickness of the pin is very different. A scrapper pin is very, very thin quality. This is the scrapper pin over here. And this is over here, my real authentic Disney pin. A lot of times Disney pins, real Disney pins, will also have a serial number on them that you could see right here. And then it also has a lot of times the Mickey waffle print on the back. And you could see that a lot of the waffling is not cut off there. And yes, unless they're older, this one doesn't have anything on it for a new Tsum Tsum pin. And sometimes you could just tell from the wording. I had one pin that I had taken out. Some of the words are just smushed together. So for instance, this says on the back, made in China, but the made in is like one word and it's going to be really hard to see. But you see that one has a serial number on the back, but the Mickey waffling pattern kind of goes off to the side. It's really, really, really thin. You could just tell that it's not good quality. And then also we have something that you could tell kind of on this one. You could kind of see the brush strokes on this. And it can be really, really tricky to, Donna, I'm going to present myself now. It can be really, really tricky to see whether or not it's a real, genuine Disney pin. If you are just quickly trading with someone, you can't like go up and be like, hey, can I investigate your pin? So sometimes it can be a really hard task to decide. Hey, Blue Nose, welcome. Hey, Chris. I hope you're doing well. Oh, and Josh is saying there are various ways to tell a scrapper pin. They are sometimes rough on the edges. Yes, that's a good one too. Disney, like genuine Disney pins are very smooth. Sometimes the scrapper pins will have like nicks on them and they can sometimes hurt. They are, oh, let's see. The print on the back doesn't go to the edge. Yes, the studs don't have the same pegs. Yes, the two, they also may be magnetic. So you guys could also tell by the studs too. It's going to be really hard to tell on this tiny camera. But like sometimes they're supposed to be pointy and they're like really, they can be really dull sometimes, but yes. There are several ways that you could try to determine if it is a scrapper pin. Once again, I think if you are going and trading pins, it can be really, really hard to be like, hey, let me see, is this a scrapper pin? Can I look really closely? Sometimes at Pinboards, it's a little bit easier because you have more leisure looking at it. Do you have any tips, Donna, on how to determine a scrapper pin from a genuine Disney pin?
Well, I always like to run my hand around the edge and make sure it's smooth. And
I try to do that.
Yeah, and I always like try to hold it to the light so the paint, I can see if it's like you had the divots or dimpling or any unevenness. It's so tricky, and especially when it's hot out and you're doing it outside and you're in a rush and you want to go. But if you take the time, you can see it. It's hard sometimes, but I mean, don't feel bad if you get a scrapper because, like I said, everybody gets them. It's just it's an inevitable thing.
Yeah, totally. And that's why I have so many scrappers. And I think Lauren had asked, do you throw them out? And I don't, because there are so many things that you could do with them. You could make crafts with them. You know, sometimes they're just cool to have. Even, I mean, if they don't have any specific value, monetary value, it could be fun just to have, and another Disney souvenir. But genuine Disney pins are definitely the way to go. So I think that's a good segue into how to obtain or start your collection. So someone had asked, do you buy mystery pin packs? So I think it's safe to say we both do. And they have mystery pin bags, which have 5 pins in them.
I love those.
They are really good for trading. So I'm trying to see if I have one with me. So like the Tsum Tsum pins, like something like this will come in a pack of 5. So you will get, I had my Dumbo one too, which I've already lost. I have so many pins right here. But those kinds of pins, like the Tsum Tsum pins, they're great to trade. And you get 5 of them, and they're typically $29.99.
They're like $27.99 for 5 pins. That's not bad. And I'll tell you, if I get duplicates, which you almost always do with those,
100%.
Yeah, that's what I use to give to my friends. I trade them. You know, Samantha collects pins too, so I'll give them to her. So they never go to waste, ever.
Yeah. Hi, Detroit Disney Duo. And Lady Jamers asked, can you trade Hot Topic and box lunch pins? So you can trade any Disney pin. If it is a Disney pin, like a trademarked Disney pin, you are allowed to trade it. And that's what I've gotten the pins. They had the, what were the pins from Target that they had, you know, they had out a couple years ago? I found some of those in the parks at some point, which
I've never seen those there, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so yes, you could trade any legitimate Disney pin at the parks, but I would definitely so I'm not going to trade away a pin that is $10-12 because that's really expensive to trade away. So I think that's why people like the mystery pin sets, because if you're getting so many pins, sometimes you can get the mystery pin sets or the pin packs on sale. You could get them on eBay that are unopened, that are genuine Disney pins at a discount. But people like those because they are legitimate Disney pins. They're not too expensive. And it's just a lot of fun to trade the pins.
Well, those are also good if you have a family. Like say you have 4 kids or something. You can each get a pin from a pack, and you don't have to, you know, pay through the nose to get everyone a pin.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. And then they also have mystery pin boxes, which come with 2 pins. They are about 12. Oh, I'm so glad you have one of them. So this is a is it a limited edition one?
Yes, these are limited release from last year's Food and Wine Festival. I haven't even opened these yet.
Oh my gosh, Donna.
We should do an unboxing.
Right now.
Let's do it.
So that's, oh my gosh, are you really going to open it?
Yeah, let's do it. I can do it. I just
guys, impromptu Disney pin unboxing.
Yeah. I've got my scissors.
Okay, so do you want to show people what they look like? They come in little black bags.
They come in these little black bags, and you get 2.
Yeah.
I like to use my scissors to open them because they've made them really tough to open lately.
Yeah.
They show you on the back of the box, all 11, one for each country that you get. So, and that's the front of the box. And they were, let's see, they were $19.99 because they were limited release.
Yep. Usually they're not that expensive. Usually they're $12.99 or $13.99 or somewhere around there for the 2 pins.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, this is so exciting.
I got Lumiere.
Oh, for France.
Isn't that awesome?
That is so cool. So do you want to show on the back too? It will say limited release on these pins because they are limited release pins. And they'll have like a little special words on them.
Yeah.
And typically I would say, Donna, I don't know if you'd agree, but the ones that have the 2 pins in the box, I find them to be a little bit nicer than the ones that have the 5. But the 5 pins are really great for trading purposes.
Yes, and like I said, these are limited release, which is they're not limited edition, but these obviously were only released for the Food and Wine Festival for last year. So
oh, that one's so special.
Isn't it awesome?
Oh, and Pam had a great question too. Do they have chaser pins for some sets? And yes, they do. And if you guys, Donna, first of all, thank you so much for opening that with us. That was so special. So you guys got to see what a mystery pin unboxing was like. And that's what comes in, well, that was a special box, but typically you get 2 little black bags. You can open them. They have pins in there. And Pam's question, yes, they do have chaser pins for, like, I was really lucky to pull a chaser pin on that America set.
Yes.
And I got the chaser pin for Florida, which is really, really special because obviously Walt Disney World, and only 200 of them were made. So that is an LE of 200, the chaser pin. Everything else, I believe, was like an LE of 1200 or I think around there. But
like
yes.
100, I think. Yeah.
And Lady also said the puzzle pins, yes. Yeah. And those
puzzle pins, I got the chaser for the puzzle pins. I was like,
yeah. I think did Corey get it? Oh, well, okay. People are asking, what's a chaser pin? The chaser pins are like, they are a part of a set, but they are extra special. Like, they are more limited than
not as many of them are made, so the addition of them are much smaller, and your chance of getting one it's rare. It's a rare one. Whereas the other puzzle pieces, you're much more likely to get because their addition size is higher. The chaser pin is like at like 200, 250, sometimes 300 of the addition. So it's much smaller. So it's extra special.
So also for the up pin, it still fits the puzzle piece. If you guys haven't heard of the puzzle piece pins, they all fit together in one puzzle piece, but they all are unique pieces. So that specific chaser pin still fit in the puzzle, but it was a different image than what you would have normally gotten in that place. And my chaser pin for the America set, typically the characters were in color, but my Goofy for Florida was in black and white, and the state is in color. Or is it? I don't remember. But it's in black and white. So it's just a little bit different. Hey, the Orlando guy, welcome. So it just makes it a little bit more unique, a little bit more rare. Like Donna was saying, my chaser pin is an LE of 200 that came in a set of LE of 1200. And I also want to say, the puzzle piece pins or pins that are a part of those kinds of sets, typically you only get one in that set. So the puzzle pieces are
more expensive.
Yeah.
Because the cutting of the pin, it's more intricate, and they are larger pins.
Yep. And oh, Paula Rainwater says, what's your most valuable pin? I think I maybe know yours, but I mean, I don't think I have. I mean, that pin I would say is pretty valuable, the one that I have. I have a couple pretty low edition sizes. We're going to talk a little bit about, oh, okay. We're going to talk about Pinboards, but Lady Jamers also has a really good question. So what is the difference between the pin that has no coloring and the one that does? I have a Maximus pin that is filled in with color and one that is all silver. So those are also chaser pins. Yeah. They are typically a part of hidden Mickey sets. So if we're talking, going back to cast member lanyards, cast members are typically, first of all, I want to say thank you for your questions because this is so exciting. Like isn't it just the best, Donna?
I love it.
Pins. Cast members are usually given out these new hidden Mickey pins, and they will have like, so this is a Baymax hidden Mickey pin. Yes. You can see the little hidden Mickey there. Okay. There are so many different hidden Mickey sets. They release new ones all the time. Let's see this one. I love it. Let me present you.
Oh, okay.
Sam Eagle.
And then
the kind of
B,
yeah.
Under the S is the hidden Mickey.
Yep. Alyssa and Neil says, I need to take notes. This is intense. Well, I think we're just trying to fit in
later. No, just kidding.
I always feel so bad because Steve and I have been painting recently, and I'm like, today I'm not going to go over Pepper Tree Villa because I know that I have been the last couple of weeks, but this is so important for the information to be taught and shared with people. So imagine Kelly says, Meg, you're so in your element right now. And if you guys don't know, Disney pin trading is the reason I started YouTube. So this is just, it's really exciting to talk about. And I haven't talked about pin trading for a while. And I really loved it about when we were on Patrick's stream, and it was so much fun.
I love it.
Yeah. And I want that Baymax. Hey, Tanya, welcome. Cast members typically have hidden Mickey pins on their lanyards, and you could trade for them. And so part of the hidden Mickey set, sometimes you have a chaser pin, and that I wish I had one available. That has to have Lord of the Rings pins. Richard, I don't, and I wish I did. But that has like it's missing all the color, and it's really just a silver pin, but it is a like chaser hidden Mickey pin. But you want to make sure that it's also real, going back to finding out if it's genuine. I was collecting the square figment pins with the different words on the bottom, like joy and happy. Oh, that's awesome, Mike.
So nice.
Yeah. So I think it might be a good transition to talk about different types of pins. Sure. So we talked about some hidden Mickey pins. And then there are things that are LE pins or limited edition pins.
Yep. So that's, let's see. Okay. So now this one is a little bit different because it's limited release, but it's also a pass holder pin.
Yes.
And this is the opening day for Galaxy's Edge at Disney World at Hollywood.
I have a pin too. Pin twins.
Pin twins. I love it. And this is one of my favorite pins too, but it's got, the Millennium Falcon on it. And, but yeah. And, you have to be a pass holder to get it. You have to show your card to get it. And, so it makes it kind of extra special.
And I'm so glad you brought up the annual pass holder pins, because that is also another exclusive pin that you could possibly get, even if it's just limited release. They do make a little bit less of those, and it's kind of exclusive because you're an annual pass holder. People who aren't annual pass holders can't buy them in the parks. It doesn't mean you can't buy them on like eBay or something. So Sam says I retrieved that pin for you.
She did. Awesome. And then I was so lucky. I was fortunate enough. I got to go to the Flower and Garden with Patrick.
Oh.
Yeah, we spent the whole day together. And I got this limited release pin, which I absolutely love. I'm so glad I got to get it.
Oh, I think Donna froze for a second. Oh, you're back now. You froze for just a second.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, Janine. Welcome. So those are limited release pins, which are LR pins. And then we have the LE pins. And I'm going to show you guys one of my newer pins that I just picked up. This is the R2-D2. I also got the BB-8 one, but I just picked this one up first. The R2-D2 limited edition pin. So it actually opens up as well. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, but it is an LE of 500, which says on the back of the box there. So only 500 of these were made. This is a mini jumbo versus another pin that I can show, which is a full jumbo pin.
I have that one too. Pin twins.
Yes. So this is like one of my favorite pins. This is an LE of 1000. So you guys could see the difference between limited release, which is actually they can sell out of limited release pins, but typically you have a better chance of getting limited release pins versus limited edition pins. They typically sell out. Like the R2-D2 one sold out, the BB-8 one sold out. Hi, Kelly.
Number of them. And like limited release, they can make more of them. But with the limited edition, once that edition's gone, you're done. But I've got my pop-up book, limited edition.
I love those ones.
Aren't they cute? And it's got the dangling honey pot. And then inside. Isn't that cute?
I love it.
I love it too. So cute.
And Lady Jamers asked, how much are the jumbo pins normally? They really range. It depends. So my Lion King one was retail $65. you also get an annual pass holder discount on the pins.
This is the jumbo
Oh,
from the
so
Pirate
beautiful.
Princess Party.
I love
Limited edition of 750.
Wow.
Yeah, from 2007, and it's really pretty. It's got the jewels on it, and it's one of my favorite pins. And
That
it's
is beautiful.
it's pin on pin. It's got the jewels with all the characters. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
So I love that you also mentioned pin on pin. Hi, Vibe Project, Ed and Mindy, welcome. So here is, I'm pulling from my own collection that I was going to show, but Donna mentioned something called pin on pin, which means that there is basically a pin that is on top of another pin.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could see, there is that indentation of my hitchhiking ghost, and that also moves. There are a lot of moving elements on pins as well, but you could see how this pin is on top of another pin, pretty much. So that's another pin lingo for you guys if you didn't know that. And then, so we covered jumbos, limited editions, limited releases, and then we have things called open edition pins, which is something like this, where you could find at any Disney store. It doesn't disappear. It will stay open for people to buy, so it's not limited to a certain time.
Like this one, I believe. Okay, so they didn't always come on the. Aren't they cute? But yeah, they used to come on these black backers. This is an older one, but this is also an open edition. But nowadays they'll come on the white backer cards.
Yep. The black ones aren't being used. So like this is a newer. I got my BIBBIDI box, and it's on one of the newer white backgrounds. And then there are things that are called PTDs, or Pin Trader Delights. Which is something that you can only find at the Ghirardelli Soda Fountain store in Hollywood. And typically you'll find this in like, if you guys are a part of like pin trading boxes or something like that, or you could find them on eBay. They have the most beautiful backing cards, though.
I love them.
When we went to Disneyland, it was one of my dreams to go to the store. And I was like, I got to go to the store.
That's awesome.
It was so beautiful. And I got the PTD pin. My mom ate the sundae, because when you buy a pin, it comes with a sundae or Pin Trader's Delight. So this is what the pin that I got from.
I love it.
And you guys could see PTD, Pin Trader Delight, and it also comes with this amazing backing card. And usually they're about an LE of 300 or so. They have different characters that come out all the time. Lana Stone, hello. She said, really informative. Have watched Gary C go crazy over pins. Nice to learn more about them. Awesome. James Ryan says, how do you know when a limited edition pin is going to be available? Are they only at the parks? So typically they have things called pin. I'm going to hold off for 1 second because I also want to talk about fantasy pins. But if someone could remind me in like 2 minutes to tell me how do you know when pins are going to be released. But then there are also things called fantasy pins, which are things that you cannot trade in the park, but are just more for collections. So I do have a few fantasy pins. I have 2 in front of me, but one of my favorites is the large Thanos pin.
You should present yourself with that one.
He's pretty awesome. I think he was from Fig Pin. I like love this pin. It's so big. If you guys could see how big it is.
Definitely jumbo.
So this is something called a fantasy pin. I also have another one of Zero here as a little baby. You could typically find these on sites like Etsy, or sometimes people will have them on eBay, but it's really more for artists to show how talented people are, and to show their love of pins. Do you know
about have are these acting pins? Now these are official Disney trading pins. Yes. They are more expensive. You have to find them online. But as you can see, the artwork on them is absolutely incredible, and the pins are quite large.
Yeah, they are so beautiful.
And they're limited edition. This one is like of 250. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. So yes, we can talk about when do you know when pins are going to be released? So I've gotten to meet Ryan from Disney Pins blog. I'm sure, yes, you definitely have met him.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
I've met him a couple times. He's so, so nice. And if you guys check out Disney Pins blog, he always has the releases, but
He has
also
a 411 on everything.
Ryan literally knows everything about Disney Pins. So if you have a legitimate question that maybe we can't answer or the internet can't answer, just reach out to him. He's so nice. And he like really keeps everything very up to date. So DisneyPinsblog.com, I think. And
follow him on Instagram too, because I know that's how I find out about some of the pin releases, because he posts a post on Instagram each month what's going to be available on what days.
I'm going to pull that up right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you guys could see, just follow Disney Pins blog. And especially now that the parks are closed, Ryan has been posting like what days pins are going to be released, because they are releasing these pins now online for both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So people that would normally be able to only get pins from Disney World, you are able to get pins from both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. But I'm going to show you guys what the Instagram page looks like and what it looks like when you want to see what pins are coming out. So you'll see something like this, and it'll have exactly what day it comes out and what pin it is.
What's the one for Disney World, and then he'll have one for Disneyland as well.
Yep, here's the Disneyland one. Every month they come out, and this information is usually released at pin trading events. So we could also talk about pin trading events, Rising Moons, the Hitchhiking Ghost, Bones. Oh yes, it said to remind you in 2 minutes. We're talking about that. So definitely Ryan has a lot of information if you want to check out his website or his blog or his Instagram. They're also on Twitter. But because this isn't typical for Disney pin releases, it's a little bit different. They've been going live at, I think, 10 Eastern time in the morning. Just like for the Star Wars one, they were released like a couple weeks ago. They had, they still have some that are available that are limited edition, limited release. But he'll keep you updated if more Disney pins are supposed to be released. He'll say what day, he typically lists what time. But that information a lot of times can be taken from Disney pin trading events, which they have quarterly, or three times a year. Quarterly, yeah. Four times a year, yeah.
3 months.
Yeah, so every couple months they have it. They typically have a theme. Donna and I got to attend the 10th anniversary of Up trading event with Corey, Fiasco, and Haley and Sam. It was so much fun.
Artist who signed our pin.
Yes. So and that's also an exclusive.
Amazing. Yes. And the events are only $15 to get in. And so well worth the money. You get to look at everyone else's, what they have in their collections, which I found fascinating.
So cool.
Yeah. And we got to meet the artists that designed the pins. I mean, how cool is that?
It was seriously amazing. And to be able to get her to sign it. And then also it comes with like a Mickey Rice Krispie treat or something. Like you get a little snack too.
That's right.
Yeah, and just to be able to hang out with other people, like I think you're seeing how excited we're getting just talking about pins. So to have an entire room filled with people that just love pins as much as you, or probably even more, like it's so much fun.
They give you the preview of what's coming up for pin releases, and you can actually go up to the board and see. And so I would take pictures. Sam, of course, took video because that's what
I did too.
I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I just took pictures of the ones I wanted. I'm like, okay, I got to get that one, got to get that one, got to get that one. And so I knew what I wanted when it was coming out.
Yeah, so they typically release like the next couple months of pin releases. So Ryan goes to every single pin trading event. I don't know what they're going to be doing. They typically have one in May, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with the pin releases there. But typically he'll just put a video out just like a day or two after the pin trading event, and you can see what pins are going to be out for the next couple months.
And the other thing about the events is you get special things like access to things like this.
Yeah.
Which my framed 30th anniversary Little Mermaid. It's a jumbo framed pin set,
Mm-hmm.
500, and yeah, and it has a certificate of authenticity in the whole thing. So it's really, really, really special.
We definitely need to have like Arnie and Ben and PTV on, because they're also like, you guys are pin people. So
Triple P too. He is a great pin collector as well.
Yeah. So many pin people, and I just love it.
Well,
And so, yeah, if you guys are interested in starting to pin trade, like there are so many people out here in just our small little Disney community that could help you with any questions that you have. Hey, Cherie, welcome. Yeah, there's usually a big summer pin event anytime in between May and late August. So last year it was the Fairy Tales event.
Yeah, that was out so quickly. Oh.
Yeah. So that's also, if you guys are interested in signing up for a pin trading event, they go really quickly because it fills up, and they really do cap it because you can only have so many people there. And then I also want to say that you get access to the pins, RSPs to like put almost like a reservation for a pin that you could get from that event. So for the same event that Donna and I went to for the Up, I was able to get the jumbo Up house that was an LE of 1,000.
I got that one too.
Yeah, that pin is so beautiful.
Spectacular. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. And whatever pins are left from that event, which might not be any, but if they do make it out of that event, they will go to sale for the entire public. And Donna mentioned that she went to the Little Mermaid event, and I was actually, that was back in, when was it, November?
Yes, I believe so.
I think it was back in November. And I was actually able to get some of the pins at the Character Warehouse. So I paid $5.99 or $6.99 for the pins, which is unbelievable. So sometimes I had gotten 4 limited edition pins at the Character Warehouse. Yeah. So if you guys are in the Orlando area, if you like Disney pin trading, go check out the Character Warehouse too, because you can also go there just to buy open edition pins to trade in the parks too.
I got 10 of Mickey's 90th birthday pins. They have them for $1.99. Mm-hmm. And the marathon weekend pins, they had them there for $3.99 and less. So I just grabbed them all. I'm like, I didn't get that one. I didn't get that one. So I got all of them.
Yeah. Would anyone mind scrolling up? I can't see Amy's question, but if someone could find Amy's question, I will happily answer it. I don't know where it is, but I want to keep talking because we only have so many minutes left. And then you guys are going to head over to Pepper Tree Villa, but I feel like there's still so much information. Donna, do you think that there's anything else that people should know about Disney pin trading before we quickly talk about our own Disney pin boards?
Well, I would say, like I said, collect what you like. But for me, I like going with the limited edition and limited release and event pins and things like that, only because I know that they're going to be special pins, and I know that you can, only get so many of them. They're in the parks. They're not going to be scrappers. So you don't have to worry about that. And, they're just so special. Like I have this one here. I showed it to you.
Oh, it's this, guys. This pin is so cool.
Okay. So it came with a certificate of verification, and it says the Royalty and Totter, and it gives the artist name, the edition size of 500, and it's from 2003. And so this is the card that came with it.
Oh,
so there we go. So now it came in an actual ceramic box. This is ceramic, which is really hard to store, but
oh my God.
Limited edition of 500. And then inside, we have the teetering and tottering ghost.
It's just so cool. Oh my gosh. So Donna, while you're still showing this pin, Amy's question was, do you think it's important to keep the backer cards? And I think this is a very personal decision.
Yeah.
And whether or not you might potentially resell your pins.
Yeah.
So what are your opinions on that?
Okay, so my opinion is this. If it's an open edition pin, it just comes on the regular backer card. I don't think it's worth anything. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't make it worth any more or less. And, if you're going to be having your pins on a pin board or anything like
You
that,
also have,
yeah, see, when you have a special card like Megs,
yeah,
I keep those.
I always keep these.
I like the up card because it's signed #1, but it's translucent. They had never done translucent cards before, so you can see my fingers through it.
Yeah.
And it's just so colorful and beautiful. This one I will never, ever get rid of. But, you get ones like this black backer, and if I ever put this on a pin board, I'll never keep this black backer. It doesn't mean anything. So
Yeah.
it doesn't even have the price on it. So it's got this weird sticker, nothing else. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for answering that. And I like that. That's pretty good segue. We could quickly show some of our pin board. So it's totally up to you how you want to display your pins. There are so many different ways. I have a DIY of corkboard ears that you could make ears and put pins on them if you want to display them on your head. But there are so many different ways. So Donna, do you want to show everyone just I think people are asking for a pin trading 102.
So this is my first, I just made this when, everyone was staying at home. I said, this is a good opportunity to make a pin board. So I made my very first pin board with my Lilo and Stitch pins. And this isn't even a percentage of my Lilo and Stitch pins, but it's a lot of my favorite ones.
Oh, I love it so much.
Thank you.
And I'll quickly show mine. This is actually my friend Kat had made the backing. But if you guys don't know, I'm a huge pin collector of The Nightmare Before Christmas and anything Halloween and the Haunted Mansion. So this is some of mine. You could just see the differences. I have a whole bunch of other pins as well, but I just wanted to quickly make a pin board that I could trade out pins and so this is just some of my collection. You can really display them however you want. They have new backpacks now that you can display pins, which is awesome. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many different things that you could do to display pins. And typically so for instance, I'm trying to figure out a good pin. So this pin, for instance, this pin, the Windows of Evil, came on a really cool backing card, and this is an Ellie of 2000. But I decided I always keep the backing cards. Oh gosh, I always keep the backing cards somewhere else if I want to display them on a cork board. I don't think that the backing cards look very good on my cork board. It also takes up a lot more space. But I do collect those. I mean, I keep those ones. It's not like I could, collect them, but I do keep them. If you guys have any really quick questions, we would love to answer any questions that you have. But just let us know, tag us in the comments. Donna, I have a feeling that we might have to come back again to talk about Disney pins because
fun.
It was
so much to talk about.
It went by so fast, and I feel we didn't even really get to answer anyone's questions because there's just so much information to cover. And I saw that Pepper Tree Villa was going to show some. They were going to show some pins at the beginning of their stream. So I'm excited to see that. Yes, talking pins is so much fun. And Pepper Tree Villa, we will definitely have to have you on too. The hour it flies by. It really does. Yeah. Oh gosh, there's so much to talk about.
On and on. It would be like a whole pin day.
Yeah. And the Meg's magical moment person. Oh, my ears on. Hi, Sam. Hi. Oh my gosh. I actually didn't have too much time to think about someone, but you know what I can do? I will pick 2 people next week because I really want it to be genuine. I was trying so hard to get this stuff together before the stream. So I will pick 2 people next week. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Donna, for being such a sport, being a good sport.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
It's so much. Oh, Noah's saying, where's our Johns?
He's hiding somewhere.
He came in before the stream started.
I'm in a room watching Lord of the Rings. No.
I was going to say, what? Honestly, like one day we really need to get him to watch it. But I think we should definitely have another pin trading episode. I think either next week we'll be doing painting or something else, maybe Star Wars related. We'll have to see with Steve for May the 4th. But thank you guys for being here. Donna, thank you just again. It's so much fun to talk about Disney pins and yeah.
I know.
Our Johns is working on his next stream, says Jonathan Chong. You never know. I mean,
He wants some paint.
Yeah. Honestly, he needs to be on my stream one time. Richard, I know you're in the chat. You should be on my stream one time. But please, everyone, head over to Pepper Tree Villa. I want you to say hashtag Disney Pins Rock, and we will all be over there to join them. Donna, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. We will see you all real soon. Bye.
Bye.